Hi, it's Glenn talking fishing, and this round we're talking about your do-it-yourself fly fishing leader, where I use some components that I picked up from Amazon, specifically some of this Stren mono to make my own do-it-yourself fishing fly line leader. Once everything's tied, it'll be 3.5 foot of the 30-pound mono, 3 feet of the 15-pound mono, and 2.5 feet of the 6-pound mono, giving you a 9-foot tapered leader. It's going to be knotted, so in those times, especially when the cottonwood trees are shedding their little fluffy things, you may need to go back to a knotted or knotless tapered leader. But for the most part, I've been able to use this throughout the season. Worked for trout, worked for bass, worked for bluegill. They're not picky. Main thing you have to do is buy the material at first. All right, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing they'll do is tie these pieces together. The 30-pound and the 15-pound. We'll be using a barrel or blood knot, and you can look online how to do it. It's real simple. Just put the two together and you'll be ready to go. What I'll do is I'll overlap the two lines in case the 30 and the 15-pound about a foot over each other, and then I'll grab it in the middle, and that's where I'll start my blood knot or barrel knot, and just tighten it up here after lubing it with a little saliva, and there we go. There's the first section. By overlapping it by a foot, it basically cuts off that 6 inches, which will get us the length that we wanted for both here shortly. And you can, if you want, put maybe some super glue or maybe some UV glue to just make it a little bit more smoother transition. I tend to just leave it as is and not worry about it. So the next thing is tie in the tippet ring and a perfection loop. The tippet ring is going to go on the 15-pound test. The perfection loop is going to go on the 30-pound test tag end. If you don't want to use a tippet ring, then just repeat the same thing you did with the blood knot or barrel knot with that 6-pound test, and you'll be good to go. And here I'm just getting a, here I'm just prepping a perfection loop. You can look online how to make one. I just got used to doing it over the years, so be done here shortly. All right, perfection loop. You just got to trim the tag end. Okay, next up we're going to take the 15-pound test and we're going to attach it to one of the tippet rings. In this case, this is a small tippet ring. It's a 2mm 25-pound test one. I'm mainly just fishing for some smaller guys, and I'm using this 6-pound tippet, so no biggie there. And when you get ready to do this, don't take the tippet ring off the swivel that it comes with, little snap swivel. Instead, tie your line onto the thing that's closest to the opening, tie it on there, and then at that point take it off and tie in the 6-pound test. So if you try taking it off now and try tying it, it's going to be very tough to tie it on there. So keep it on the swivel when you tie it. Okay, so there it is. I've got the tippet ring attached to the 15-pound mono, and I still have the tag end, and you can see I can take it off the swivel no problem. So at this point you'll take it off the swivel and then attach the 6-pound test. So it's off the swivel now. I still have the tag end, and I kind of like leaving the tag end on there until I get the 6-pound test on there, and then we'll clean it up. So there it is. Got an improved clinch knot is what I use to attach the 15-pound test to the tippet ring, and then I used a tri-lean knot on the 6-pound test, and it tends to hold better. I'll clean this up. And you can do, again, some of that UV style glue or super glue just to make it more friendly to any obstructions getting on there and clobbering your line, but I'll tend to just cut it and leave it as is.
Here's one of several fish caught when I tested the do-it-yourself fly fishing leader. It's casting nicely, it's laying down on the water, not spooking any fish, and guess what, we're even getting some bites. In this case, got a nice sized bluegill. Also got a few bass as well.